For primitive beings like us, life seems to have only one single purpose: gaining time. And it is going through time seems to be also the only real purpose of each of the cells in our bodies. To achieve that aim, the mass of the cells that make up earthworms and human beings has only two solutions: be immortal or to reproduce. If its habitat is not sufficiently favorable or nurturing, the cell will choose immortality. On the other hand, if the habitat is favorable, they will choose to reproduce.
It's a mother's worst nightmare, watching a child fight for life. But around the world, almost 19,000 children under 5 still die every day from largely preventable disease. Most of Niger's population are poor farmers who grow their own food, making children here some of the most vulnerable. While most of the world has made strong inroads into tackling some of the major killers of children, sub-Saharan Africa carries the highest burden of child mortality. And children from poor rural areas are much more likely to die before their 5th birthday than those in urban areas. Globally, more than a third of children deaths are attributable to undernutrition. For Basaria, in addition to being undernourished, she was also suffering from malaria, an easily preventable disease that killed 500,000 children in 2011, nearly all in sub-Saharan Africa.
Objective number 1: Descriptive analytics. How bad is child mortality in Malaysia compared to neighboring countries? Which state in Malaysia has the highest, lowest rate of child mortality? Which age group has the highest risk of mortality? What are the leading causes of child mortality?
Objective number 2: Which of the following factors has the highest correlation to the reduction in mortality rate in Malaysia? For example, government expenditure on health. Does it affect mortality rate?
Objective number 3: Predictive analytics based on historical data. What can we predict of child mortality rates in Malaysia in the near future?
We have collected the data from various sources, namely from World Bank but also some from World Health Organization, where the data are from 2000 to 2018 only. There are 15 variable and the following are their description. As compare without neighboring countries, namely Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines. Malaysia is second only to Singapore, even though Thailand has been catching up very fast over the years. As of 2018, the under 5 mortality rate of Malaysia is 7.8, while Singapore is 2.8 and Thailand is 9.1. Based on Department of Statistics Malaysia on prenatal mortality instead of mortality under 5 rate in 2018, the state of Terengganu has the lowest mortality, 7.3 per 1,000 pregnancies, while on the opposite scale is Sabah at 13.4. Neonatal refers to newborn children, infant refers to children under 1 year of age, and under 5 for children up to 5 years old. Number of deaths of under 5 children is the highest and nearly double that of the neonatal deaths, 41% compared to 23%, and it's the same for mortality rates. The following line chart on the top 10 causes of death among children under 5 years old in the period from 2000 to 2010. The number 1 cause of death was always congenital anomalies, also known as birth defects, and that it did not show any sign of reduction, standing at 31% in 2010 while it was 27% in 2000.
Improvement in which factor has the highest correlation to reduction in child mortality? We can use inferential analytics to help us to answer this. Based our data collected, it shows that pregnant women receiving prenatal care, birth attended by skilled health staff percentage of total, and people using safe drinking water services shows the highest correlation, ranging from -0.70 to -0.89. The direction of the correlation estimates is aligned with theory that good quality healthcare services and good access to necessities, example safe drinking water, help in reducing child mortality rate. Nevertheless, the correlation estimates for immunization for measles seems to show otherwise. Prenatal care is a type of preventive health care. Its goal is to provide regular checkups that allow doctors or midwives to treat and prevent potential health problems throughout the course of the pregnancy and to promote healthy lifestyles that benefit both mother and child. Based on the data, pregnant women receiving prenatal care helps reduce child mortality rate as explained by the coefficient of determination R² of 0.62 to 0.65. Proportion of births attended by skilled health personnel is the percentage of deliveries attended by personnel who are trained to provide the necessary supervision, care and advice to women during pregnancy, labor and the postpartum period, to conduct deliveries on their own and to care for newborn. As shown in the graph, the higher the percentage of skilled attended, the lower the mortality rate. The impact of unimproved water and sanitation as a leading cause of childhood diarrhea has long been recognized and documented in the public health literature. Note that the neonatal have R² that is below 0.5, perhaps because newborn do not consume water directly.
Predictive analytics. To build the predictive statistic model, we select child mortality as dependent variable (DV) and per capita government expenditure on health as independent variable (IV). The correlation coefficient analysis value is 0.64, which indicate that the linear relationship between the movement of DV and IV is having a strong positive correlation at a significant value of 0.0035 for the correlation relationship between per capita government expenditure on health and child mortality rate at 95%. The percentage of regression mode fitness is 0.4, which indicate the regression line fits the data points. At 95% confidence level, based on the sample data, we can conclude that for every $1 increase in per capita government expenditure on health, we can expect reduction in child mortality rate by an average amount between 0.00177 to 0.00762 child die per 1,000 childbirth. Based on the dataset, it shows that a sequence of evenly spaced data points yearly. Therefore, we select time series method as forecasting technique due to time series method is a quantitative model, which we can assume the future data will follow same patterns as the past years. Table above shows the forecast value based on using exponential smoothing method in time series. By using 0.2 and 0.8 as alpha value, we identify the CFE and MAD values. From the values of MAD for both 0.2 and 0.8, it shows that alpha equals 0.2 gives less value of MAD. The following graph shows the trend of the child mortality rate. The forecast data exhibits a steady decline over years. Using alpha equals 0.2 is more reliable because it plot shows a nearer value between forecast data and actual data compare of using alpha equals 0.8. In conclusion, despite we are ranked 2 in our neighboring countries in terms of mortality rates of children under 5 years. As a nation we must always aim to improve better, especially when life is at stake. Despite pregnant women receiving prenatal care, birth attended by skilled health staff and people using safe drinking water services shows the highest correlation. These are perhaps past effort of our country medical team, infrastructure development and urbanization which had ensure its optimum level to help curb child mortality. However, in order for us to reduce further child mortality and is within our government ability, should at their level best come to the sense on such policy like increase the government expenditure on health per capita, as shown in our prediction. That will be all for now. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye.